Hi guys, this is Sherman Carlos. On today's video, I'm gonna give you my review, my rolling review of Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. So guys, here we go. So Attack of the Clones takes place, according to my knowledge, 10 years after the events of Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. And yes, Anakin is all grown up with braids in his hair, with two ponytails, with two ponytails and one ponytail in the back. The dude is just showing off his pretty hair, pretty horse hair, which I like horses, but you know what I mean by that. But anyway, so it's been 10 years. So it's been 10 years since the event of Episode 1. Qui-Gon is dead, cold as ice, or a fried chicken Jedi, because in a Jedi burial, I'm guessing, in Star Wars funerals, you get burned. So anyway, Obi-Wan Kenobi has a beard now, a very cool caramel beard, color beard, and it's been 10 years since Anakin has seen Padme Amidala, who was the former queen of her home planet Naboo. Apparently, her royal course of being the Queen of Naboo has run its course, and Chancellor Palpatine is still the ruler and democratic ruler of the galaxy, of the Republic of the Republic. But there's separatists. There's enemies of the Republic, and of course these enemies want to kill the incoming senator, and former queen of Naboo, Padme Amidala. Now, when Anakin sees Padme, he feels like he turns back the clock to his 10-year-old self with a bold cut, with a bold cut, like Mo from the Three Stooges, and we get to see the lovable crush tension that, and it's apparent that Annie hasn't forgotten about his feelings towards Padme after these 10 years. But again, the whole point of, here's what I'm trying to say. So, the separatists, or the man, or the opposers of the Republic are trying to kill the new incoming senator into the Republic Council, into the Galactic Congress, which is Padme Amidala. So with that being said, Master Yoda and Mace and Jedi Master Mace Windu, aka Nick Fury, aka Samuel L. Jackson, offer offer an option of protection to have an old friend, which is Obi-Wan Kenobi and his apprentice and his Padawan Anakin to protect the new senator, the new incoming senator, Padme Amidala. So that's how we get things things get moving. So the we don't know yet. At this point, we don't know who is trying to kill Padme, but we know it's a separatist. It's an anti-republic. But we soon get to find out because a bounty hunter by the name that we don't know at that point, but a name that we love as Star Wars fans. Yes, Boba Fett. Boba Fett hires an assassin. Hires an assassin to put in a flying messenger, flying mail carrier. Very poisonous galactic centipedes. To eventually who their poison is to immobilize Padme. But tragically for that assassin hired by Boba Fett. Again, at this point we don't know his name, but I'm gonna say it now because we love him. Boba Fett. The assassin doesn't complete the mission, and of course Anakin and Obi-Wan. Well, Anakin goes crazy and jumps through a window like a crazy person, like a dude on fire, like hot chili fire, like spicy food fire. He jumps through the window to commandeer a pod vehicle, but not a racing pod, but a pod, and of course Obi-Wan Kenobi follows him, but more calmly, like crazy, but more calmly, like crazy calm. And both of them are tracking or chasing the assassin. They eventually get to the assassin, who tries to hide himself, or hide herself in a local Coruscant bar. And we come to find out by Anakin, is that this assassin is a change of a change form, a morph changer. Basically, a person that changes its appearance, physical looks. So eventually they get to the assassin, the change morpher, and as soon as Anakin tries to interrogate this person, this change morpher, he does it very intense, and again, Obi-Wan does the same, but more calmly, and as soon as the assassin is about to reveal her hiree, her hiree, she gets struck by a poison dart of foreign origin, and we get to see Boba Fett as the main reason. Connecting the dots here, that Boba Fett was the person that hired the assassin, the form changer. But now they want to know, who does this bounty hunter work for? And this is where it gets a little bit romantic. Well, it gets more of a Star Wars romantic. So since capturing and almost getting to the bottom of who would want Padme to be killed, and again, they were so Annie and Obi were so close to getting the name, but tragically the assassin was silenced. So Obi and his fellow Jedi Council members, which include Master Yoda and Mace Windu and and Jedi Master Mace Windu, they decide to have Senator woman, Padme Amidala to go on a mini vacation, on a tiny mini vacation, until they get to the bottom of who wants her dead. So naturally, Obi decides to have Anakin to protect Padme on this mini vacation, and so that's how it goes. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, Chancellor Palpatine is acting weird. Well, not acting weird, but behind the real behind the scenes, the Darth Lord, meaning Darth Sidious, has infiltrated the Republic. Yes, what I mean by that, guys, that Chancellor Palpatine is the Darth Lord himself. The scruffy and shriveled up like a grapefruit of a face, Lord Sidious, Darth Sidious. Yes. So I don't know how the Sith work regarding how they pretend to be good, but anyway, so So behind the scenes, behind the scenes, behind the scenes, behind the scenes, Chancellor Palpatine is concerned about how the Republic is going with the Separatists. Like, the Separatists are just they're coming out of nowhere, and this might lead the Republic with no other option but to go to war with the Separatists. So in a masterful move without actually without actually creating the masterful move before Padme was forced to go on this mini vacation with Anakin. She had a replacement. She had a replacement senator in mind until she came back from this vacation to replace her in the Galactic Congress, and that of course is Misa, so proud. Yes, of course I'm talking about Jar Jar Binks. So here's the masterful move. Here's the masterful move. Again, a masterful move without actually making the masterful move. So, after seeing that the Separatists are coming out of nowhere and still coming out of nowhere and creating chaos in the Republic and in the surrounding galaxy and in galaxy as a whole, Chancellor Palpatine gives himself or is voted by the Galactic Council, the Galactic Congress. The Galactic Congress gives a vote of yes or a vote of confidence, of galactic confidence, to give Chancellor Palpatine the powers of Supreme Chancellor, which in turn gives him the power to declare war. On the Separatists. But here's the key. All galactic congressmen and women have to agree. And since Padme gave substitutional powers to Jar Jar while she's on this mini vacation with Anakin. Jar Jar votes yes to declare war on the Separatists. Meanwhile, in Naboo, Anakin, R2D2 and Padme are back home, meaning back in Naboo, Padme's home planet, and she wants to stay. She wants to stay in her old palace, in her old stomping grounds, after her predecessor or heir to the throne, the new queen of Naboo, tells her that the discussions with the Federation, which is I'm gonna try to explain it to you. The Federation, yes, is a small but small but big, but not as big as the Empire. But it's a branch of the Empire, led by Viking, 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 Viking of the Federation, Conrad, or in Spanish, el virrey Conrad, something like that in Spanish. So again, Padme wants to stay, and she wants to help the new queen of Naboo to help her convince the Federation that the Federation slash separatists don't want to go to war. We want a peace pizza. Meaning in a funny way, we want to have a peace agreement. But again, Anakin says no, we can't stay because I was ordered to be here on vacation with you. To be on vacation with you, on vacation and protect you, and not stay an extra day. And not stay here in Naboo for an extra day or for any political activity that you Senator Padme want to do. But anyway, but in short terms, or to move this a little bit long, fast forward a little bit, Anakin obliges to Padme's request. Meanwhile, Obi-Wan gets to see an old friend to give him information about the poison dart that killed the hired assassin, the hired assassin that was trying to poison with galactic centipedes, Senator Amidala. And Dex is Obi-Wan's old friend, and Dex gives him the information that the poison dart that you have in your possession, Obi, is I haven't seen it in a long time, but I know where it's from. It's from the Cominians, or meaning the Cominians, meaning the people of the planet Camino, meaning Cominians. And the Cominians are known for cloning. So Obi goes to the main Jedi temple, and goes to the archive, or to the archival library, to find information about the planet Camino. But here's the kicker. According to galactic records, there's no such planet called Camino. It doesn't show up in galactic form, or in a galactic picture. So Obi, embarrassingly, and also funny, has to ask the help of Master Yoda, and Master Yoda helps him find his lost planet of Camino with young Jedi younglings, meaning small small future Jedi's seeing this embarrassing but also funny moment for Obi. So Obi goes to so Obi goes to um so Obi goes to Kamino, a stormy Kamino, and he finds that the 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 comedians do in fact clone, do have, and that an old Jedi Master ordered, had ordered, had ordered, had ordered his this clone army for the Republic. But Obi tells the leader, the prime comedian, meaning the head of the meaning the head of the comedians of the people of the people of Camino, that this Jedi that had ordered this army of clones who was tragically assassinated 10 years before. And then Obi says, who is to the main comedian, to the head comedian, who's the cloner? And the secretary or the comedian that greeted Obi when he entered the comedian housing palace type thing, or housing, or headquarters, I should say. The greeter said that the cloner, meaning the person that they got the blood from to clone these clones, is in fact in our installation. He lives here. He lives here, and his name is, you guessed it, Boba Fett, with his little kid that looks like him, but in a smaller quantity, Jango Fett. So Boba Fett introduces himself to Obi. Then fast forward a little bit for you guys. Eventually, Jango Fett and his father Boba are pretty scared of what Obi might find out. That he could connect the dots. That the person, that the bounty hunter that he saw, that Obi and Anakin saw shooting, or close to, or that got away before they could interrogate him. That shot this poison dart at the phony assassin changeformer that was trying to assassinate Padme, Senator Padme Amidala. That Boba was the one that hired this, and that the person that hired him was close and nearby. Not close or nearby, but close to being caught. So a good and awesome fight ensued between Boba and Obi in the rain. Eventually, eventually, Boba and Jango escape. Escape 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 the rainy planet of Kamino. And of course, Obi throws a tracking device that sticks to Boba's ship, and he follows to a familiar planet, but with a different name. What I mean by familiar, same surface, same surface, but different name, meaning Geonosis. The twin brother planet of Tatooine. Yes, Geonosis is the twin brother planet, you can say, of Tatooine. It's very sandy. It's very dry. It's very dry. But so Obi follows the tracking device that he stuck to Boba's ship, and that leads him to follow Boba and Jango to Geonosis. Meanwhile, in Naboo, still in Naboo, Anakin can't sleep. Can't close his eyes and sleep, because for the past 10 years, he has been dreaming about his mom, about Mrs. Anakin. And if you remember, guys, 10 years ago, like in the timeline of the Phantom Menace, of Episode 1, Anakin had to leave his mom and Tatooine because Qui-Gon had lost a vocal convincing fight with Annie's boss slash slave holder to let Annie and his mom leave with him, meaning Qui-Gon, and a young Obi-Wan Kenobi, and to be free from being slaves. So, but Qui-Gon lost that battle because the only one that he was able to convince the slave holder to let go or to be freed was Annie. And Annie said to his mom, I promise you, Mom, one day I'll be back to free you. So for the past 10 years, Annie has been having dreams, very intense dreams, sometimes nightmares, mostly nightmares about his mom screaming in pain, or screaming out of agony. So back in Tatooine, in current time, Annie can't sleep because of that. Because he keeps because he can't stop thinking about he can't stop dreaming about his mom, about Mrs. Anakin. So 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 in a in a desperate attempt, and he says to Padme, "Sorry, Padme, but I have to do this. We need to. I need to go back home." Meaning Tatooine. And so Annie and Padme go to Tatooine. Go to Tatooine to find out to find out where is his mother. And to fast forward a little bit for you guys, Annie asks his former owner, "Where is my mom?" And his former owner responds him that he sold her to a man named Lars, who lives very far, like 30 miles away from here, and close to Mos Eisley, which is a port. I'm guessing, or slash Providence of Tatooine. So Annie and Padme go to see this man Lars, and in fact, Lars married, and yes, freed Annie's mom and married her. And of course, Lars has a son named Owen. So meaning that's why in episode 4, A New Hope, we have an Uncle Owen, because Owen, Lars' son, is at Annie's half brother, and Perut, Owen's girlfriend, is Annie's half sister-in-law, even though the Perut and Owen are not married, but yes. But so half sister-in-law, but because his half brother Owen and Perut are in a relationship. So Lars tells Annie that one day, like she always did, your mom was out in the fields, grabbing some mushrooms from in the vapor fields, but one day she never came back. So after a few days, I decided to gather a group of 150 men and myself to go find your mother. But tragically, only 4 of us came back. And what we found out is that the creatures that took your mom were Tusken Raiders. And these Tusken Raiders, let me tell you, are pretty tough. And thanks to them, I lost my leg. And that's why and that's why I couldn't ride anymore. I couldn't ride anymore and go find your mom. And go find your mom, even though I really wanted and still want to, but I can't. And now I have to face the fact. And now I have to face the fact. And you should too, Annie, that your mom might be dead. So after hearing this, Annie and Anakin decides by himself to go and find his mom. And he does. But he tells Padme to stay here. To stay with Owen and Lars and Perut. So Annie goes and finds out, goes to rescue his mom, and he eventually finds her, all tied up in a Tuscan tent, and tied up and half to death, like almost to the point of death. And Annie unhooks the ropes that are basically holding his mom hostage, and sets her free, lays her down, and says, "I'm here, Mom. I'm here. I'm gonna take you home. We will, and then you will get better. And we will talk about it. And we will catch up. We will catch up. Then Mrs. Annie or Mrs. Anakin or Mrs. Skywalker opens her eyes a little bit, but a weak opening opens her eyes very weakly, and says to Annie, "Oh Annie, my handsome boy, you have grown up." Then eventually, fast forward, Mrs. Skywalker dies. Then we see a change in Annie's demeanor. A look of vengeance, a look of hate. So he decides in this heated rage to assassinate every Tuscan raider that he could find in that base, even the children, which gives us an early indication that Annie might be susceptible or prone to fall under the spell, under the seduction of the dark side very quickly, and that his mind is strong but weak, and easily can be turned into vengeance, and can turn into him stepping into the dark side very quickly. So after killing the Tuscan Rangers and even their kids at their base, Annie returns with the body of his mom, and he tells Padme, I should be better, but I should be a better Jedi, but Obi-Wan knows it, but he's holding me back. And if I was a better Jedi, all the people in the galaxy wouldn't suffer like my mom did. And if I was a better Jedi, and if I wasn't held back by Obi-Wan, I could have saved my mom. Then Annie goes into very graphic detail to Padme that yes, I killed those Tusken Raiders in their base, and I killed their children, and I treated them like animals when I killed them. Meanwhile, in Geonosis, and after having an awesome aerial battle with Boba's ship, with Boba's ship, Obi had landed in Geonosis, but in Geonosis he didn't have a good transmission to send a very long message. So eventually he decided to give a short message, to transmit a short message that said that yes, that the Separatists and the Federation and Viking Conrad Murray or Viking Conrad and the Separatists have a factory here, a clone a droid factory, and by the way, and also, when I was in Camino, I was informed that 10 years ago, that 20 years ago, Jedi Master Sifo Dyas had ordered a clone army for the Republic. But I told the main comedian that Jedi Sifo Dyas had died. So after sending this short message to Coruscant and to everyone in Chancellor Palpatine's inner circle of government that include Master Jedi and the Jedi Master Yoda and Master Window of the Jedi Council and / everything Jedi. Chancellor Palpatine had this to respond. I don't know what else to do. But if I have to take a vote of yes or a vote of confidence, and a vote of yes, of becoming Supreme Chancellor, to declare war on these separatists, and anti-republic. I will do what I have to do. And the one person that can give this declaration a vote, a full yes and a full green light is, of course, Jar Jar. So Jar Jar does what Padme had told him to do. Substitute her. And if something very important and critical comes up into discussion that cannot be resolved by any political direction, as a last resort, you have to say yes. So with that, Jar Jar says yes. I agree to vote yes, or I say yes to let Chancellor Palpatine upgrade his powers to Supreme Chancellor for the moment, and declare war on the Separatists. So Palpatine does that. So now we have declared a war. So now the Galactic Council and the Republic have declared war on the Separatists. Meanwhile, somewhere in Naboo, no, sorry. Meanwhile, in Tatooine, after burying his mother, and Anakin and Padme are about to leave. When Anakin hears the message that Obi sent to Master Yoda and Chancellor Palpatine about Geonosis and about the Federation and about the Separatists. Then Padme says, we need to go to Geonosis to save Obi-Wan. He might be in trouble. Then Anakin says, no, I want to save my master, Obi-Wan Kenobi, but my orders were to be on vacation with you and eventually return to Coruscant with you. But eventually, Padme wins again a very heated discussion with Anakin. So the both of them, with R2D2 and C3PO, go to Geonosis, to the factory, to the droid factory, which, in a funny twist of fate, they both get into separate pickles, and they get captured by Boba Fett, by Boba Fett, by Boba, by Bo, by Boba, by Boba, by Boba Fett, and the droids, and and both of them are eventually sentenced to death by Colosseum, by viewing public of the Geonosian Coliseum, at the Geonosian Coliseum. See, by this time, guys, Annie had given up on trying to convince Padme that she was lying to herself, when she was saying a lot of times throughout the movie before getting captured, that she wasn't in love with him. But then, as they were about to enter their Colosseum death, Padme had a confession and revelation that, in fact, these past 10 years, that she hadn't seen Annie, with every year that passed by, her heart did not let go or let this loving feeling towards him die. But now that she and Annie were about to suffer a Colosseum death by who knows what, she told Padme revealed the truth that, yes, Annie, I'm in love with you. And they kiss. And in an ironic, funny twist, in the same Colosseum, they were about to die. They both were about to die. Both Annie and Padme. They found Obi, and Obi was like, guys, what are you doing here? And Anakin was like, of course, to save you, to come and save you, or rescue you, Master. And eventually, guys, chaos ensued. First, three creatures were tasked to hurt / annihilate all three of them, meaning Obi, Padme, and Anakin. And then chaos ensued. But to keep it short and sweet, all three of them were able to escape the chaos, but not the first part of the chaos. Then Count Dooku, who we would find out that hired Boba to find his assassin that he eventually failed once in a failed attempt to kill Padme, and that Boba had given these poison centipedes to her that didn't get the job done. So the main baddie here the main baddie the main baddies here by association are Boba, Boba, Count Dooku, and of course, behind the scenes, Darth Sidious. So after a great battle between the droids, and almost all the Jedi forces that Mace Windu could gather up in this sandy Coliseum of Geonosis. Jedi Master Mace Windu basically cut and basically took off the head off of his shoulders, Boba's shoulders, like a piece of meat. Eventually, after this awesome fight, Count Dooku fled, or was trying to flee. But in the end of the Geonosis Coliseum fight, Master Yoda had gone to Kamino by himself to gather and to prepare a small but big contingent of the newly minted Republic clone army. So after seeing this, Count Dooku tried to flee. Then Obi, Anakin, and Padme got onto the new clone Republic ships to hunt and to shoot down the Federations and the separatist blimps and ground forces, which eventually they did. But one of the separatist ground forces was able to shoot and kind of shoot at the transporter that was carrying Obi and Anakin and Padme. Not shoot it down, but to just discombobulate it a little bit, and eventually, poor Padme fell to the sandy grounds of Geonosis, and after seeing his dearly beloved Padme fall to the sands of Geonosis, Anakin was like, "Let's go down now." And of course, Obi said, "No, my Padawan, don't let your feelings towards Padme cloud your mind. What would Padme do if you were in the same position? If you were in the same situation as she was?" And Anakin said, "Her job." So eventually, Annie and Obi got to got to Count Dooku's hiding place, and they fought both of them, 2-on-1, and of course, Count Dooku tried to poison the waters of poison the minds of Obi and Anakin towards each other, but he didn't quite do it. But what he did eventually is cut and chop off, and sorry for being so graphic, guys, and chop off one of the arms of Anakin. And after incapacitating or leave Obi on the ground injured after striking his leg with his lightsaber, and he was about to crush him too. Using the Force, Count Dooku tried to crush and squash Obi, but guess who came to save the day? Yes, Master Yoda. Then Master Yoda said, "You have done very bad. You have done very bad. Done you have," said to his former apprentice, Count Dooku. And then we had an awesome fight between Master Yoda and his former apprentice, Count Dooku. And man, let me tell you, it was very cool to see that Master Yoda do his thing. Even though Master Yoda is little in size, the little dude can do his thing. And I mean his thing. He's an awesome Jedi to see in fighting form. To put it in a funny way, but also like, this is awesome. Seeing Master Yoda fight is like seeing poetry in motion. It's a masterpiece of lightsaber fighting. But anyway, after the fight, Count Dooku ran away. He got away to a ship that led him that transported him to a planet called Mustafar, which is a volcanic planet, which is housing or the home base, and it's the home base of Darth Sidious. Now, Count Dooku has his civical name, Dark Tyrannus. And guys, and obviously, and if you don't know this, the plans that Count Dooku has in his possessions and that he eventually gives to Dark Cities are basically holographic design of what we would come to know later as the Death Star, and that's how this wonderful movie ends. But before the ending, we see we see Supreme Chancellor Palpatine and his cabinet looking out into the distance with like about 1,000 rows of of clone stormtroopers ready to go to war with the Separatists. And that's how this wonderful episode 2 ends. But wait. And in secret, Padme and Annie get married in Naboo. And that's how this wonderful episode 2 of Star Wars, the Clone Wars, the Attack of the Clones ends. So with that being said, guys, thank you for watching. Remember to leave a like and let me know. Have you seen this movie? And did you like episode 2? And what do you think? And what do you think will happen in episode? What do you think the consequences? What do you think the consequences? Even though I know that you guys know what the consequences of after the Attack of the Clones are. What do you think are the repercussions of Attack of the Clones of episode 2? Even though I know that some of you might already know. So with that being said, guys, thank you for watching. Remember to leave a like, and with that being said, guys, may the force be with you. Bye.